Next, I want to talk about the changes to the Whisker Switch. It was reported that some operators were receiving nuisance alarms from their Whisker Switches due to things like the wind causing the currents to bounce around, which caused their Whisker Switches to incorrectly change its on and off status for a few seconds. To help minimize these alarms, we made some changes to how the Whisker Switch works. The first change, which has been available for a few releases, is the change of the high and low settings from a percentage of opening size to the actual open inches of the device. The old range for these settings used to be 0 to 100%. They are now 0 inches to the device's full open size. So when updating from an earlier version of the software, the accuracy of the high and low values need to be verified and changed to reflect inches instead of the percentages. These values still work the same way. When the opening size of the inlet is lower than the low setting or higher than the high setting, the system will verify the Whisker Switch's on and off status is correct. If not, an alarm will be created. While the inlet size opening is between the high and low settings, the system ignores the switch's status, preventing nuisance alarms when the switch's status is at the point of changing. The second change is the added alarm delay setting to the Whisker Switch. This setting is the number of consecutive seconds the switch's status has to be in the incorrect state before the alarm relay is activated. The range is from 0 seconds, which causes the alarm to activate immediately, to 600 seconds or 10 minutes before the alarm activates. This minimizes the nuisance alarms caused by temporary changes in the switch's status due to the external factors like wind. We did not change what effect these Whisker Switch alarm delay has on the fans. When the alarm activates, any fans that are off due to the opening size of a curtain will turn back on and stay on until the alarm is cleared, just like before. However, we did have to make a change to the fan off at curtain opening settings of the fans due to the addition of the alarm relay. In earlier versions, the fans were turned off based directly on the Whisker Switch's status. If the inlet was open and the switch's status was correct, the fan was turned off. As soon as the system noticed the switch status was incorrect, the alarm activated and the fan was turned off immediately. From that point on, the switch's status was ignored and the fan was left on until the alarm was cleared. In the latest versions, with the alarm delay, we can no longer turn the fans off based solely on the status of the Whisker Switch, because this switch can toggle back and forth multiple times before the alarm activates due to the delay. Therefore, the turning off of the fan is based solely on the opening size of the curtain. Once the curtain opens further than the fan off at curtain open setting, the fan is turned off regardless of the Whisker Switch status. Once the Whisker Switch's alarm activates, the fan will turn back on and stay on until the alarm is cleared. So even though the turning off of the fan is not directly related to the Whisker Switch anymore, we are still recommending that the actual Whisker Switch on the current machine be set to the point where the fans are to be turned off, and the Whisker Switch's high and low settings be set around that point. This allows the system to work as it did before by turning the fans back on and notifying the user the curtain is in the wrong position. I hope this clears up any confusion as to how the Whisker Switch works now compared to what it used to work.